All right, good morning. Day 6. Let us see if I can get the postings right today. I think the last couple days I did this backwards. So I'm still trying to do this morning brain dump recording before I do the daily recording for the 3 pages of the Be a Triangle book by Lily Singh. Trying to keep it a tad bit focused, because I have trouble just going off topic when I've got other stuff on my mind. So I guess, today's good. Real odd. I always find it interesting how I wake up feeling kind of different almost every day. There were some days this week where I woke up, it's Saturday now, but some days I woke up feeling pretty energetic and like ready to just like go and just easily waking up. On occasion I'll feel like a little groggy, but yeah, I feel like Friday morning was really odd. Like I woke up feeling real weird Friday morning and having that weird little stomach thing Thursday night. I think it kind of threw me. But last night, so I'm going to talk a little bit about substances slash supplements. None of these are recommendations of what anybody should be doing with their own health. Like, I am not a doctor. I definitely, I don't know if I would go as far as to consider myself a psychonaut. I don't really know. I definitely do play with different types of supplements and substances or whatever you want to call them. But my intention usually is just to get the gears turning and moving, knock off some dust and rust and, just where I need to, like as needed, not necessarily like every day. So I don't really have too much of a daily regimen. I would say maybe I have a regimen with, I'd say of all things, cannabis, products, anywhere from CBD to hybrids, indica, on occasion sativa. I've had 100 milligrams worth of sativa since, I think I have one sativa vape cartridge, and I've had that since I think the vape cartridge I didn't even fully finish because I accidentally washed it. Like, I accidentally washed my vape pen with the cartridge still in it. I had the Palm Vape by Select, and I accidentally washed it. So I think I broke it. It was already kind of broken as it was, but I washed it, and then it doesn't work anymore. And so actually I haven't tested if it doesn't work, but it was not really properly working in the first place for a while. I've had it for a while, since probably like 2017 or something, so it's kind of old. And it stopped working a couple years back. Like, you have to press the vape cartridge a certain way sometimes, or sometimes it's hard to, like, you know, get anything out of a brand new vape cartridge. It's like you'll be just like trying to pull on that thing for like ages, and then finally, but like there's something up with it. Um, but yeah, I've had that since last snowboard season in 2022. That cartridge, as well as the um, the sativa edible. I got that for free. It was a freebie from something I'd ordered. I don't know when, but it was. I'm pretty sure it was before I moved from San Diego. So it was before summer. So yeah, I don't really partake of the sativa too often, but I do enjoy it. So I've had sativa the last no, I've had cannabis. I mean, I can't track which days I do or don't, but I would say the significant days are usually the ones that if I'm off and it's kind of like a wake and bake kind of morning, I'll usually give myself a weed Wednesday, and especially if I'm not working, I don't mind just like dropping an edible in the morning, um, and just seeing where it takes my mind for the day. But everything has to be in place. It's like I can't leave the house or go do anything. So Wednesday, because I was out, um, I that's usually my rested day, or like my midweek kind of like unwind, recoup, kind of gather my thoughts, reflect a little better. I didn't end up doing that Wednesday because I went out and did some studying and other stuff. And so Thursday, I ended up having that morning as a weed Wednesday routine on a Thursday morning, which is the Friday Eve morning. Got all these names for all these different days. Um, and I mean, it was nice. And I talked to a friend on Thursday as well, and had a good time, and got a lot done. But I don't know what happened. I think when I ate dinner, something just felt weird, because I ate too much. I ate like 2 bowls of this pasta salad, and I think my stomach's not used to that kind of stuff, and so because I've been kind of curbing like the way I eat, and so it was maybe too much vinegar in the pasta salad, or too much pasta, or too much of something. It kind of irritated my stomach a slight amount. I took some Pepto Thursday night, um, but I think that made me feel weird Friday morning. I think there was something with it that just threw me off, because Friday morning I woke up feeling not so good. Not physically, I was just like in my head, just mentally not feeling too great. Um, just kind of like isolated most of the day, didn't really want to do anything, didn't want to be around anybody. Um, but I did have an edible sometime after breakfast. I had some sativa. Um, so I studied some stuff, enjoyed myself yesterday studying, but and just relaxed in the late afternoon, ate my meals, had veggie grill for lunch. Um, but yesterday was just real weird. Like, it just felt real strange. Like, I don't know why. Like, it didn't feel like the other days. Like, I was a little groggy. I was a little, like, I hadn't exercised. Like, I think Wednesday was the day that I cleaned. Thursday was the day, no. Yeah, Wednesday was the day that I cleaned. Um, Thursday was the day that I was like, well, I cleaned, and that was a form of exercise. I was moving some heavy stuff around, and I was like, let me just count that. And so Thursday I didn't actually work out. So I would say Wednesday, Thursday, were kind of light active days. And then Friday when I woke up, I just wasn't feeling as good as I was the other days. Today I woke up feeling fine, but the other days I didn't wake up feeling fine. I mean, that other day I didn't. Thursday specifically was the day that I didn't feel good, and I don't know if I slept well. I really don't remember. Um, I didn't feel like I slept well um, when I was up yesterday. Um, I eventually made it to the gym last night. I started preparing for that around 5:30, but didn't really get there till like, let me see. I went to CVS to grab some melatonin because I had some C4 to get myself up off my butt to get some energy and like go to the gym. But I did have a little yerba mate with it, which was not the best of ideas. You're not supposed to mix other caffeinated beverages with C4. Um, but I had maybe like uh, two little like 25 percent of the scoops um, at separate times. So I had one of that amount at like 4 or something, 4:30 or something like that. Another around 5:30. So it's like got my energy up a little bit, and then I was like, okay, I do want to go to the gym, but I might need a little more of a kick of energy. And then at 6:30, I was at CVS because my plan was have some melatonin because it's late. Like having C4 at like 4:30, 5:30, that's late caffeine for me. Like I was like, I'm gonna be up till like 6 in the morning. Like I'm really sensitive to caffeine. So basically, I basically went to CVS while the C4 was kind of just like going through my system, and basically I got this Natrol, Natrol, sleep plus calm, melatonin plus L-theanine, botanical blend, calms the mind and body, eases you to sleep. It's 2 gummies a night, 30 minutes before bedtime. I was gonna choose the other Natrol, but it only had melatonin. This one has other stuff in it, and it's 6 milligrams of melatonin instead of 5 milligrams, which was the other one. It is sugary for me, but I mean whatever. It says it has 2 grams of sugar, but like per dose, which is the 2 gummies, 15 calories, so it's a low calorie, 4 grams of carbs, 100 milligrams of L-theanine, 6 milligrams of melatonin, 25 milligrams of the proprietary botanical blend, which is chamomile extract, lemon balm extract, and lavender extract. Um, Ingredients is a very short list. Organic tapioca syrup, organic cane sugar, pectin natural flavors, citric acid, fruit and vegetable juice, color. I guess that's for the color. Sodium citrate, coconut oil, carnauba wax. I'm not familiar with a lot of stuff, so I don't know how to pronounce some of these things. It doesn't have milk, eggs, fish, crustacean, shellfish, peanuts, wheat, soybeans. I think it said too, no gluten or no gelatin. I thought I read that. Oh yeah, yeah. So it's non-GMO, is vegetarian and gelatin free. I think that means it's vegetarian, not that it's free of vegetarian. You know what I mean? Like it's vegetarian. No synthetic dyes, no artificial flavors, sweeteners, or preservatives. It tastes fine. They're gummies, so they're chewable. I like it. But dang, it was, oh gosh. Um, like I've got major insomnia. I took one of those things at like 9 p.m. and I was feeling it within like 15 minutes. I was like, whoa. Well, actually, let me back up because I took an edible when I left the gym because I was like, it's not going to kick in yet because the drive's not that long. So as I was walking out of the gym at like 7:45 p.m., I had 5 milligrams of a hybrid edible. So I can't discount that. So I had 5 milligrams of that edible, and then at 9 o'clock I had half of half of this dose, so one gummy. Then at 9:30 I had that second gummy of this melatonin stuff. And I slept. I turned on this like bird singing, powwow bird singing video, and it's about an hour long, and I was asleep before that ended. I was kind of like lights out around 10, and around 10:20 I was still up. I had this candle on though. Around 10, probably slept around 10:45 and woke up pretty early, but I had trouble getting up, but I wasn't like the best I can explain it. It wasn't like groggy. I wasn't like my brain is foggy and I'm groggy. Like I don't have brain fog this morning. I woke up with my brain kind of like fully available. And I don't really have brain fog like I normally do with melatonin products or cannabis products. There's no real like brain fog for me right now. So I am basically up, feeling fine. But it took me till almost 8 to get up because I realized I was able to close my eyes and kind of drift back into a little bit of a nap every so often this morning as the day was getting brighter and brighter and brighter. From like, I don't know what time I actually woke up, but it was a little before sunrise. So let's call it 6:30 a.m. I don't really know. I could have gotten up then, but I kept laying back down because I realized I could lay down and just sleep. So that is something that's not normal for me. Like usually when I'm up in the morning, I'm up. I can't drift off to sleep. My mind is usually just like racing all over the place. I don't feel that way this morning, and it's really weird. It's kind of throwing me off because I usually have all these other like things going on in my head, and I woke up and I was like, huh, my head feels kind of quiet. Like it was easy for me to just kind of like go back to sleep because I wasn't like having all this like stuff in my mind like going on and on and on. I woke up and felt fine, and I don't think I ate too late last night. Like after the gym, I think around 8:30 p.m. I had a protein shake and like the rest of a perfect bar. It was probably like about 100 milligrams worth of not 100 milligrams, 100 calories worth of a perfect bar, and then a I like that Orgain plant-based protein powder, the one that you do like the 2 scoops from that plastic canister. So I had 2 scoops of that, but yeah, the way I feel today so far, and all I had was 2 boiled eggs for breakfast, a bit of a perfect bar, a little bit of OJ. I'm drinking this, it's mostly cacao. So cacao, I threw in a little bit of like half of a spoon of like instant Folgers crystals. Like they're not like that good, but it's a little bit of an energy kick. A little bit of MCT oil, a little bit of ghee, a little bit of oat milk. I don't use the full, like how they say, like tablespoons and all that worth of ghee and MCT oil. I just put a little bit. Um, they both squirt out of a bottle. I have bottles of both of those, so I don't really measure how much it is. I just put a little bit because it makes everything, of course, like very oily, and I don't know, my stomach in the morning is kind of like weird with the oils, but it is kind of like a little bit of a, there's a little bit of calories to the oil and the ghee, uh, and the cacao. So I mean, probably the Folgers too, but I don't really know what that is. But it's like, I feel like the little bit of calories adds up too. So it kind of like adds to the meal because I didn't really eat that much, but I'm also not like starving this morning. I'm not too hungry. But I was pretty much laying down almost all the way till breakfast. Like, I could have slept. I could have slept. I could have just kept sleeping. And that is not normal to me. That's not normal. Um, Usually my mind is like racing like pretty heavily in the mornings. So I don't know what to think. Like I'm just kind of thrown by it because like my head feels a little quiet and it's just like weird. But um I guess it's good, but it's also just weird. Like I don't, you know, um I don't I don't know. Um but I feel like it's worth documenting, especially because I do usually feel differently. Um but I feel like I slept fine. Like I'm not very good at checking my clock in the mornings because it becomes a point of frustration for me because of the insomnia. So I don't really check it like every day. But like yeah, last night I was doing some writing to somebody. We were kind of like talking about some gender related stuff, and also somebody we were talking about a little bit about like I was kind of sharing a little bit about my caffeine regimens and kind of my kind of concerns for my own self about certain medicines and things like that. Like that I'm not really like fully understanding medicine, like certain medicines, because I'm not too like I don't know so I don't want this to sound like I'm against people having psychiatric medications because I'm not. I mean, clearly I worked in a field where that was just like a normal part of the day. Like we talked about meds all the time. It wasn't like a big deal. Like to qualify for the services, most people needed to have meds. Like it was part of like, well, if you don't need meds, then this isn't the level of care for you. You need something less intensive. Like those people needed medications. They needed a psychiatrist, nursing staff, um, which is fine. I'm not saying that I don't. I'm just saying I don't currently have a prescription. I've never had like a formal prescription, but I mean, I definitely, dabble in all kinds of stuff, all kinds of natural types of remedies, other than Pepto, just kind of like natural stuff, hemp seed oil, like I just mentioned, the melatonin, some unnatural stuff like whatever's in C4. Some of that stuff I think isn't natural, but I have a combination of like natural, unnatural, technically like supplements, and then I'd say they're usually in gummy form because I can't swallow pills. Um, and I think I like this melatonin stuff more than the hemp plus, but I don't really know because I took it with an edible in my system, and the edible was a live resin hybrid, 5 milligrams of a live resin hybrid edible, and in that during that morning I don't know how much of a sativa edible. It's hard to dose because it was a full circle gummy and it was 100 milligrams. And so I basically put cuts in it a while back to show what would be approximately 15 milligrams worth. but I don't know. So I just try to eat less than the 15 milligrams, but it's hard to dose a gummy. It's like one gummy. Like it's like a gummy. It's like as big as the best I can describe, like when you're a kid and you get those, like when you go to the dentist and they give you those like hard candy lollipops. They're just those classic, like kind of clear lollipops with the like green or purple or whatever single flavor with the little plastic wrapper that you just like rip off the top and the little cardboard stick. Like usually it's about like the gummy is about that size and diameter. Um, so it's like, how do you dose that? Like, how do you dose that thing? Like, I just kind of, I didn't cut it up. I just kind of I kind of scored it a little bit when I first got it. So, it's not like a very accurate dosage. But I was like, I'm not eating 100 milligrams of sativa all at once either. Um, that's far too much for me. But um, I don't even know what brand it is. It's not even branded, but it was free, so it's pretty cool. Um, so I don't know, like, yeah, that's kind of what's on my mind is kind of like supplements and substances. I'm kind of like, I do like feeling better. Yesterday I did not feel that good. Um, more early morning I didn't feel that good, and then once I got back from the gym, because I was, I didn't get in the workout I wanted to get in. It's like in my head I wanted to get there earlier, but I got there pretty late because parking sucked. I didn't think about it. It's like the Friday of President's Day weekend. It's like a 3 day weekend for some people, and it was a Friday. I don't really go to the gym Friday nights like that, so I wasn't aware that it was like a thing that people do. I just assumed everybody's out partying, nobody's at the gym, and I was at the gym with all the other people that apparently go to the gym too. So I didn't know Friday night was a big gym night. So I went, and it was fun, but I really only worked out for 30 minutes, and it was good. But I wanted to be there for like an hour, but I was trying to time like, okay, like I need to unwind, I need to, have this protein shake, and I don't want to have it like too late at night, So I was like, I was shooting for 8, ended up coming home and taking a shower right away, and then after that, I had the protein shake, so maybe around 8:30 p.m. So yeah, I didn't really. Um, I don't think I really had like a deep understanding fully of what was going on yesterday. All I can really say is that maybe I just didn't sleep that good because of the weird Thursday night stomach thing. Or maybe the Pepto threw me off because God only knows what's in that stuff. Um, I don't really know. Like, I really don't know. But, yeah. Um, so there was that type of stuff going on yesterday. Yeah, and I was just grumpy when I got home. Like, I just felt a little, like, I get a little, I don't know, like, sometimes I just need space, like, way more space than what other people are willing to give me. And so it's like, I feel like people are being nice, trying to be, like, welcoming, inviting, friendly, but I'm just like, I just want to be completely by myself and not talk to anybody and not engage in conversation. So I was already feeling a little like, okay, like, you know, when the C4 starts wearing off a little bit, or caffeine in general for me, I can get a little irritable. So I was kind of feeling that. I was like, I don't really want to be around people and like engaging with anybody. And so I was pulling in the driveway and I'm like priming my vape pen, you know. And as I pull in the driveway and I'm like parked, and then my mom like opens the door, and it's kind of like that where it's just kind of like too much of like, why are you like right there? You know, like it's just like I can't even have like a moment to just like vape in my car when I get home. It's like I just wanted to sit outside for a minute, vape a bit, chill, you know, unwind before I came back in the house. And it was like, okay, you know, like the way our door is, you can kind of see there's like a little glass panel that's like fog glass. So you can kind of see if there's somebody passing by that area. So I kind of saw that little shadow. I was like, God, like, you know, and it's just kind of like a space thing. It's just like, you know, in my head I was just like, damn it, like I can open the door myself. Like, you know, I have the keys. I drove, you know, I have the keys, you know. It's like, yeah, it's a nice gesture for someone to open the door. But at the same time, it's like, I have the keys. Like, you don't have to open the door for me. And in my head, it was like, I don't want to come in the house right away. I kind of wanted just some space to, like, you know, vape my, you know, I think I had like this hybrid. Um, I just wanted to, like, just chill outside and in the fresh, cold air and, like, but it's just stuff like that that just, you know, can be irritating for me. Like, it's, even if somebody's doing something nice, it's like, I just want to be left completely alone. And, you know, it's not like a specific person. I'm not like mad at anybody. I just don't want to be around anybody. And so that's kind of how I was feeling last night. And then, you know, I walk in the house because I'm like irritated already because I'm like, okay, whatever. And then, like, you know, I think my mom makes a comment like, yeah, I haven't really seen you all day. And I'm just thinking, like, you don't need to see me every day. You don't need to, like, see me. We don't need to interact all the time. Like, I've just been wanting to be, like, really by myself. Like, I don't want to interact, which is why you have not seen much of me, because I don't want to talk to anybody. And so that was kind of how that went. And I was like, I do not feel good, you know, like, um, I was glad that I got in a workout, but I was just like, if I keep talking, I'm gonna like say something stupid. So I just was like, okay, like, you know, like, I guess when she made that comment, I was just kind of like, I know, you know, but like, it didn't come out in the best tone. It wasn't like, oh yeah, I know, we haven't really like seen each other. It was just like, I know. And I was just like walking past and just like left and like went to another room. And I was just like, I jumped in the shower, um, just kind of hit the vape pen a bit before the shower and just jumped in the shower. And like, I already put my protein shake in the freezer before. I have these plastic cups and I just put it in the freezer before I leave. So when I come back, it's kind of like ready and frosty, but I usually take a knife and just kind of slush it up and like stir it up because it, you know, it's powder so it settles and all that. And so I was just kind of getting that, you know, ready after the shower, and my mom was in the kitchen. Like, she'd been in the kitchen the whole time. And I was just thinking, like, she's been in the kitchen forever. So I just went and, like, got the shake, and, you know, I guess she kind of, like, knew that I wasn't really trying to talk because she didn't, like, start a conversation. And I came by, got my thing, and then I was just kind of like, yeah, I like the meatloaf kind of thing. Like, I'm not trying to be a jerk, you know, but, like, so I was just like, yeah, I'll compliment kind of, like, the dinner that she made and stuff because it was nice. And, like, she's been kind of on it the last few days cooking some nice healthy foods, but I'm just like, I just don't want to be around people. I just want to be by myself sometimes, you know, for like days at a time. Like, I'm fine with it, you know, but some people, I think some people don't understand that. Um, they like to be around people. Like if they're in the same house as someone, they want to be around them all the time and like talk to them and have like a nice like environment to like be together with others. I kind of don't really want to be together with other people all the time. Like that's not really how I function. Um, I can be very much in my head about stuff. I don't really want to share it with people. I don't really want to talk about what other people have going on in their lives either. Like I just want to be alone sometimes until I decide that I do want to hang out, and then I'll usually make an effort to like hang out. But you know, it's always it's kind of like a um it's hard for me to share housing spaces with people. Like I've had so many bad experiences with it that I just am kind of like in a way I'm just kind of over it. Like it doesn't matter if it's like family or friends or whatever. Like usually I just want my space. Um and you know, I just want to be like left alone. Like, you know, in the mornings it's kind of nice because I'm the only one up. So it's like I'm podcasting peacefully. I don't have to worry about like anybody overhearing me or whatever. But the second people start like getting up and like being around in the house and stuff, then I'm just like, God, like I don't really have like free space anymore. But it's just stuff like that. I mean, it's not anybody else's problem. It's my own stuff that I've got going on. It has nothing to do, like I don't have anybody right now who I interact with in person who's negative or not like good to be around. It's just me. I just don't want to be around anybody a lot of the time. And, you know, it's also like I've got a lot of stuff in my life, people in my life. I just don't want to share um, with, I guess, like certain people, like family or whoever. I kind of don't want them like involved in my life. Um, I mean, I've been living my own life, doing my own thing for like years now without anybody really involved or checking in with me every day or being like, oh, how's your day? Or what are you up to today? Or like whatever. Like, I haven't really had that. And I don't think I like it, you know? Like, I don't like feeling obligated to like talk to family members about what I'm doing on a regular basis. I kind of like my space from them. And so even when people's intentions are good, it really is kind of hard for me to be like, okay, like I really just don't want to share with you how the gym was, or I don't want to talk about, you know, how my day is, or what I'm doing with my day, or how was the coffee shop, or where did I go. It's like I just want to go and do what I'm doing and not have to talk about it um, just because I came back home. You know, it's like I just don't feel like sharing about it. You know, it's like, and I'm not used to sharing about it. It's like, and because I don't feel like I can like authentically share about my opinions and life and things like that. I mean, you know, like Wednesday, I think it was, for example. I think it was Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday when I went to the coffee shop. Like after the coffee shop, I was grabbing a late lunch. Went to Fat Burger, and I feel like, you know, I definitely, you know, the cashier was a little confused about my gender, and then one of the customers was a little confused about it too. Like, you know, it's kind of like I don't talk about that stuff with my family. I'm not like, oh yeah, I got misgendered today, and like, like I was at the gym and I saw this attractive individual and all that. You know, it's like there's not really stuff that I can like talk to them about. So I'm just like, yeah, it was fine. It's like, like even if it was fine, like it wasn't like any major things, but it's like, it's different. Like if it was like my friends or like people that I kind of like have developed relationships with in certain spaces that kind of like understand certain stuff, it's different. I would be like, oh my gosh, you won't believe kind of like this weird experience. But it's like, I'm not like that with my parents. Um, I don't talk to them about that kind of stuff. We don't talk about anything. Like like I don't really feel like I can really talk to them about stuff, and we don't, and that's fine. So it does get a little annoying for me too when somebody's like, um, if somebody asks me about myself or whatever, and it's like, well, I can't really tell you anyways because you're prejudiced. So it's like, well, why are we even trying to open this conversation? Like, I'm not trying to like argue about it. Like, um, I mean, like it doesn't. I don't think things have come to a point where it's like, um, some terrible thing or whatever, but like, it's just not. I don't know. It's not easy, kind of stepping backwards into stuff that I kind of left. There's certain environments and social preferences, uh, social kind of, not preferences, but situations, like social situations, social expectations, and things like that that I've left, on purpose because it didn't suit me, because I didn't like it. And now it's like, oh, now I'm back around these ways of thinking, these types of people who think in these certain ways that I don't really gel with. And that's not easy. So it really does make it so I don't really want to talk to anybody. It's like, like I don't really want to, like, I want to talk to certain people that I want to talk to, but um, the people who don't really get it or can't really have a conversation about certain stuff, um, like I'm used to talking to a certain type of people. If you think of it, like most of my friends are therapists, like, you know, so it is a little frustrating sometimes talking with people who, you know, don't challenge a lot of things, who can be closed minded to like different populations of people. I'm not saying that my folks are this way, but I'm just saying like it's not easy for me to like want to engage with people who are kind of like not forward thinking. Like why would I want to spend like so much energy with that? Like I definitely struggle with, trying not to completely neglect people in my life that are like that, but it's like I don't really want, to to talk to certain people about certain things. Like it's just not something I want to do. Um, and I like to smoke my weed, and I can't really smoke weed at this house because people are against it, and so it's like okay, so then I can vape, but can I really? Because it's like, I even like, I sit outside, I'll sit out. I don't like sitting out in the backyard too much because I can't really record. So I'll sit out in my car sometimes in the driveway and record. And even then, people will be opening the front door to like look and see that I'm in my car, and it's like I just want to be left alone. Just ignore me. Just leave me alone. Just like, when I pass by you, you don't have to say anything. When you see me, you don't have to comment or make some kind of like comment. Um, the other day I was like sitting in the kitchen while one of my folks was on the computer, and they're just like talking themselves through whatever they were doing on the computer. And I put in my headphones because I was like watching I don't know, I was watching YouTube or something. It was like some really gay episode of something. And I was watching these people just like talk on this panel about, I think it was that podcast, the Space for Us podcast. It's got these masked females, I think women of color. They're all on there just talking about these kind of interesting topics. And this one was about how they came out. And I had my headphones in. I was like, I'd much rather listen to this. Like, I had a little bit of a conversation, but I wanted to listen to that instead. And in the background, I hear this person just like talking and talking, and I'm just like, I keep taking out one of the earbuds, like, like what, like, what'd you say, kind of thing, and like, they're like, oh, like I'm just, I wasn't talking to you, kind of thing, and I'm like, oh God, so I'm like over here trying to like listen to this thing while somebody's over there talking to themselves through whatever task they're trying to complete, and I'm just like trying to listen. It's like, I don't know, like to me it's just like a lot of chatter, a lot of just energy. It's just to be honest, for me it's kind of intense. Like, I don't like a lot of other people's energy like taking up a lot of space, and it just, you know I'm kind of like over here in my little corner, in my little sections of the house, and like just trying to like avoid, interacting with people, and like not completely, but it's like I don't want to have like lengthy daily conversations or anything. Like, I just don't care to, you know. Like, I have more like creative energy and stuff like that. I do socialize with people. I'm not trying to socialize, every day with my parents. Like, that's just, to me, it's just not, I don't hate them. I just don't want to talk to them every day about my life. Um, because their lives are really a lot more isolated. Like, they don't ever really leave the house too much. Um, and I think, yeah, my dad's working somewhere else, but like, other than when he works, he doesn't do anything. Like, they don't have like hobbies, interests. They don't go out. They don't do anything. And so it's like, I don't really like to be someone's main source of communication and social socialization and things. I really don't like to be somebody's like main thing or main person that they socialize with. Um, it's just a lot, you know, and especially if it's like we can't even really talk about stuff. We can't really have any depth of conversation. It's like, to me, it's like a waste of energy. Like, I'm not gonna waste my energy sitting around talking about chores and errands, that we all need to do, you know. And I don't know, like, it's hard to explain because I'm not trying to sound like an asshole, It's like, they're nice, good people, but it's kind of like, I just like my space. That's just kind of how I am. I don't think I can do anything about that. Like, I've lived with people for God only knows how many years. I didn't want to talk to any of them either. So, like, that's just kind of how I am. Like when I'm sharing a space with people, I kind of want to talk to them less and less and less. Like, I don't want them too involved. Um, you know, because none of the people I've ever lived with, family and I would say parents. I wouldn't group my siblings into this, but none of the people I've ever lived with are very. Actually, no. There's one person, two people. I'd say more than two. Like I've had some roommates that were actually good. Not the recent ones, but I've had roommates that were good. Like there's one that I go to metal shows with that I still talk to. There's another roommate that I like, but I mean, she's got kids now with the other roommate that I liked. They got married and had twins. I think they have special needs. So I don't really like, they're busy. Obviously, they've got like a whole family that they're dealing with, and they were cool. Like we got on really good. A lot of like indigenous American bloodlines and things like that. Like they were really cool. We got along really great. And then there was so yeah, at least those people. Um, but yeah, I mean, I definitely grew up around like abusive environments as well. So it's kind of like, I kind of just would rather just not engage with people sometimes because I'm just like, you know, uh, I'm used to, having to set like pretty strict boundaries with people and, um, you know, avoid them just because everything's getting on my nerves. So I think a lot of that contributes too, but it's just, you know, it's like minor annoyances. But every time I look back on it and like reflect on it, I'm like, the problem isn't them. Like, it's definitely my issue a lot of times too. It's not that they're like intentionally trying to annoy me. I get overly annoyed with things that don't need to be annoying. Like, they're not doing anything to me. Like, why is it such a, you know, such a burden to have to deal with? Um, so yeah, that's kind of how I see it. Um, it's, you know, like, yeah, I think caffeine kind of makes me moody. It makes me a little like, it has its benefits mentally, with energy and stuff, but I think it kind of makes me like moody, um, uh, just like easily irritable when it starts wearing off. And that's definitely something else that makes me not really want to be around people because I don't want to be a jerk to people. I try not to be, but it's kind of hard not to be when I'm like so easily annoyed. Um, I just want to be left alone. Like, I don't. I feel like the more I try to be left alone, the more people try to push to kind of interact with me. And it's like, I just want to be by myself. Like, that's why you haven't seen me, because I'm being by myself because that's what I want to do. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not really interested in, you know, having daily anything. Like, I don't want to have any daily pressures of anything. I don't want to have to cater to anybody's needs right now but my own. Um, Social needs or whatever kind of needs that may be. Like, I just don't want to. I don't want to. Um, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but it's like I've had a lot going on for a while, and you know, definitely, between the roommates, the housemates, all that kind of stuff, moving and being away from like my friends, my social circles that I actually do connect good with, and then not having, um, you know, being out from this job where I was just being overburdened and overwhelmed by people and their problems. It's like all those different social dynamics just make it so I'm just like, finally, I want to just have some peace and quiet for like months on end. Like, I'll come out of my hermit mode when I feel like it, but just let me just be and do my own thing on my own time. You know, stop worrying, stop trying to like force engagement with me. Um, and, I'm just not, you know, like I'm already like also trying not to stay here. So it's kind of like I don't want to stay here, but it was like the easiest option um, to not have to deal with a whole lot of other um, uh, requirements, especially like expenses and things like that. So I don't know. Like, part of me is like, I'm trying to be more pleasant. Another part of me is just like, I'm just trying to do my own thing and, you know, just live my own life and do my own thing and not necessarily have to deal with uh, mm, like not have to deal with just too many other um, demands from other people, people needing stuff from me. I don't want any of that. Like, I don't want any obligations towards anybody right now. Even if it's the obligation to say hi because I passed you in the kitchen. Like, that's even like, I don't want even that, you know? And I know I sound like a jerk. Like, I hear it. Like, I'm not like, it's like, damn, chill, you know? But that's just kind of how I feel. Like, I can't do much about that, you know? Like, um, that's just kind of how I feel. Like, I'd rather just be, you know, I like the coffee shop, you know, uh, I like bookstores, libraries, that kind of stuff. Like, I'd rather just be in my own spaces, doing my own things, you know. Um, and, like, I know that I have to do the other stuff too. Like, I can't completely ignore my family. I can't completely ignore. Like, I don't have a problem with my friends, which is different because it's like we actually talk about stuff. We actually have a relationship that we've built uh, pretty strongly. But it's like I just feel like the stage I'm in right now in life, it's kind of like there's this other dynamic that's not really supposed to be there. Like I wouldn't say that I really fully agree with the whole like Western, like, okay, you're 18, move out of the house and then have your own life kind of thing, never move back home, whatever. Like, I'm not really into that kind of thinking. But I do think that, I really was enjoying the freedom and independence from the parental household and being back in a stricter household where there's not really a lot of rules, but just a lot of expectations of just like, the weed stuff, the sexuality stuff, the gender stuff, the just general things where it's like, I'm just not comfortable sharing certain parts of my life with certain people. And when you live with them, you can't really avoid that. So I'm working through it. It's just every day is different. And today I feel fine. I don't feel social. I probably won't feel social. That's fine. But today I feel fine. Other than that, and yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. I mean, weed helps me feel social. Who knows what I'm saying half the time, but I mean, I at least feel social. So that's one remedy, but I gotta record about these 3 pages, and we'll see what else I get up to for today.